is lunch hour. My name is Carol. I am the owner and creator of everything that you find at CarolJo's.com, which is an online jewelry and accessory business for women. I'm going to let YouTube and TikTok know that, let everyone know I'm live so that we can have people in here, and then I'll explain what we do on social media and what we are going to be doing today. I also am going to bring up my backup account of TikTok so I can see comments better. I do not have a backup account of YouTube, sorry. So that'll just be a moment while I do that. All right. Welcome in, everyone. Okay. Once again, I am Carol. I'm the owner and creator of everything at CarolJo's.com. We do more than just talk about me showing you the jewelry that I have that I've made and created and having that up for sale. Hi, Murda. We do chats twice a week. We've already had both of them for this week. We do sales of the items to make jewelry throughout the week. We have a sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. We're going to do the bead sale that we normally do on a Friday night. I'm taking tonight off, and you can join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. and we will have all kinds of items up for sale. At the end of the live, I will tell you guys what we have up. But we also do tutorials twice a week. And today, this is a tutorial time. I am calling it the Simply Calm tutorial. What I did is that when I was thinking about it, I wanted a stack of bracelets that had a calming effect. So what I did create, I'll show you over on YouTube here in a moment, is this stack here. Hi, Ashley. It is just a green 6 by 5 millimeter rondelle in glass with a 3 millimeter size gold plated bead that throughout. Then the middle one is just that 3 millimeter size bead just by itself. And then it is a 5 millimeter blue with the 3 millimeter gold. Hi, the Pink Pony Club. I'm talking to everybody. I'm on TikTok and YouTube. So we're doing a tutorial today. Thanks for sharing the live. I forgot to say that, and you guys are just sharing away, so thank you. We got our shares. Awesome. I appreciate that. That helps get us out in the TikTok world. Also, 10,000 likes, that will help us also get out there. So if you guys can like away, that would be great too. So this is just a stack of bracelets that you could wear. I could actually wear it with what I have on now. I'm going to take my other bracelets off and I'm going to show you. This will go with what I'm wearing. And it is calming. It is just a simple stack bracelet. And why I wanted to talk about and why I called this Simply Calm is that I wanted to show how color plays on emotions. Hi, Joya. And the first emotion I thought we could do is calm. We have a lot of angst in the world right now. Hi, Robin. And so I wanted to see how can we bring calm into our lives with our jewelry. I'm trying to get my one bracelet back on. It is a toggle clasp, so it takes me a moment to get it on sometimes. All right, there we go, got it back. So the color wheel will help us out today. I got my color wheel again. And when you think about calm colors, some of the colors that you deal with are blues, greens, and there we go. So when you think about it, you've got the greens and the blues. I mean, when you look at these, and even some of the yellows, those lighter yellows, like this type of a yellow, those are calming. In the purple area, the ones that are calming are like the lighter purples. When you get over here to the darker purples, they're not as calming. So that's the colors that we're going to be talking about. And the reason they're also, if they're not always called calm, that's what I'm calling them, because of the fact that they create that emotion of calmness. What they do, or what they are called on the color wheel, is the cool colors. I mean, you've probably heard of the warm and the cold, or cool colors, warm and cool. And usually, depending on, your skin type and your hair color and all that, you usually have where you go towards one or the other. You usually go to the cool or to the warm. Everybody has that natural tone to them that is either cool or warm. But when you're thinking about the colors, there are things like out in nature that help us understand. And when you think about them, and I'm going to give you some examples here to think about, when you think and hear them, you think calm. So let's say, like the sky. When you look up at the big billowy clouds on that blue sky, in a blue sky, you have a peace come over you, and you're just calm. And that's what we want to talk about here today, is just that calm feeling that you get with it. Other things are, like, if you love water, it could be like an ocean. You will see the color of the sand, which I'm going to bring up the color wheel when you think about this. That is going to be like in this color here. But you're also going to see the blues of the water. And then sometimes you will see some greens in there, and they'll be like in this area. And when you see all of those, hi, Cherie, you will just think about the calm. Yep. That's Joya's calm, is the sea, the water. She is a water girl. Hi there, River Horse. And so that is what I want you guys to think about. The emotion that you feel when you see those colors. And that's not something that we usually talk about with jewelry. We just usually, they're like, well, that's really cool. But we never think about and take that step back about, why is it cool? Is it because it calms us? And that's the thing that I wanted to have this discussion about. Today is going to be more of a discussion led. I'm not going to create a stack today. I brought this for an example. Let me get that way. I wanted them this way. They'll move on their own. But I wanted to bring in something that just creates that calmness. But I wanted to talk about diving into, when we create, how are we creating? What are we trying to do? And I know I'm getting deep here. Sometimes we just put it together and we're done. But I wanted us to think about, how can we create to have a connection with someone. When you see people and their presence, you're going to see, are they warm or cool? And it could help you in the end find a piece of jewelry to help select with them that fits them. So that's why we're talking about a lot of this. And I wanted to talk about how we can bring in our emotions, because people are emotional. We all have emotions. And it's really about our brain. Our brain is helping us control the body and in the peace that we feel with that emotion. So when you have calmness, your heart rate slows down. Your breathing relaxes. So Cherie said she wears hers on her shoulder. And the thing is that the shoulders are a good example there, Cherie. When you're calm, your shoulders will go down. When you're high, anxious or whatever, you're like tense and leaning forward sometimes. And so this is the way that, and if you think about, when you go to certain businesses, your colors mean something. Like if you go into a spa, you are going to hear water probably in there of some sort. You will get, you'll hear the water, but you will see some of the blues and the greens as their branding colors to create that calmness. Yep. And Joya's got it really good. When you look at your clothes, what are your clothes mostly be? Are they mostly warm or cold? Because you usually tend to go towards cool or warm clothing. So when you think about a spa, think about what colors are in there. Actually, it's like black. And I tended, until I had my husband, black and brown were the two colors I wore all the time because they went with everything. That was really what it was about. It was about just being neutral. Hi, Diane. Thanks for the heart me. But think about, like, when you look at colors on design shows of bedrooms, most of the bedrooms are in the calm colors. They're not in the warm colors because you go into your bedroom to relax. And I have an example about bedroom colors. So, Buttercup's mom, while she was in high school, wanted to paint her room in colors that she loved. She painted the walls pink and orange. And we're not talking pastel pink and like a pastel orange. We're talking the most vibrant color of pink, like right there, that color pink. And the orange was this one. Her room glowed. They are very pretty together. But when you paint an entire room, her room glowed. You could be outside, and if she had the light on in her bedroom, even through the blind, you could see those colors resonating out. It wasn't a calming room to go into. And after she moved her bedroom to a different room, I took over that room. Hi, Rosie, to create my jewelry in. I made it my bead room. This was in the old house. I couldn't bead in there. I just couldn't. And it came from that much color saturated everything, overwhelmed me, and I could not get calm enough to create jewelry. Literally the truth. I ended up always bringing my beads downstairs into our living room, which was a beige wall, and I could create in there. Could not create in that room. When after she moved out of that bedroom, she moved into a different bedroom in the house, and she decided to paint her room in the calming colors. She painted it as if we were at the ocean. So we had a calming blue wall. We put up white lace curtains just because it just brought in that breezy feel. And then that room had been used for because you have to understand our old house had four generations of the family had lived in that house. And when my mother-in-law lived in there, she used it for making suckers in it. And so there was cabinets up there, and we took the doors off of the cabinets because if we took them off the walls, we'd have holes in the wall. So we needed to leave the cabinets up. So we left the cabinets up and we painted them a sand color. And the reason why we did that is then we made them into shelves where she could display stuff. So it didn't look like it was a kitchen cupboard, but more of shelving is how we revamped it. And it was very calming when you walked into that room. And so she went from understanding having that vibrant color in your bedroom to the calming in your bedroom. And just that difference was night and day. We knew we were probably never going to be able to calm down that one room. And we knew we were going to build a new house. So we just left that room with the vibrant colors till it was torn down. It was vibrant. There is no other way to put it. And even if you would make one wall in your bedroom that color, it still would not be relaxing. And that's what we want to talk about is when you guys select colors, what are you trying to do with the colors? Does that make sense? So some of the colors, when you get into specific colors, like we talked about, blue, green, and purple are your calming colors. Blue brings about trust, serenity, and mental clarity. That's a good one, Joya, but it is makes you relax. It lowers your heart rate, lowers your breathing, and allows you to relax, and you can go to sleep. Green brings in balance, harmony, and restoration. And purple, the cooler shades of purple, because you got to remember, purple can go both warm and cool. You got to go with the cooler shades. And purple is creativity with tranquility. I love it, Cherie. She's trying to be bold and out there. So when you think about that and bringing that in, how would you, I want to ask you guys a question, and I'm going to pause here. When you hear those words, what color of those three do you lean towards? And it's really funny because I am not a fan of the color blue. But if you look at what I have, blue is my second most amount of beads. I actually gravitate towards it. Diane is green and Ashley is blue. See, you guys are getting like what it is. Green is my number one. We all know green is my favorite color. And if you know me, I'm about the calm, everybody stay in harmony. Let's not rock the boat. That's literally me. So green is my color for who I am. It's not what I wear. I know that sounds really funny, but I don't wear green very often. You guys don't see me in green a lot. I actually do have a green t-shirt, and I've only worn it a handful of times. It's just not the color I wear, but it is the color that I love. In our old house, our bedroom was olive green, and it was calming to me. Joya, seafoam and coral. And Joya, coral looks good on her, so she's got the calming color. You can put, just like when we were doing this, you can put the cool colors with warm colors. So if you notice, I can wear these together. I can wear the blue and the green. It goes together. And it goes more together because I did put the warm gold in there. If you noticed, I did put, gold is not a cool color. Silver is. So I could have made this even cooler by putting silver in it. But I chose gold because to me, it's a balance between warm and cool. But if you also noticed, my warm in this is very minimal. When you look at this and it's all together, the green and the blue are out and you see that more. Now, if I would have made this with silver, you will see that silver more so than the other two. Or they will all three be there together. So that's when you're using your metals. Your metals also have a warm and a cool. So gunmetal is going to be warm. So, and then you've got the red copper, which is warm. You've got antique bronze, which is warm. We have a lot of warm copper or warm metal colors is what I want to say. But the thing is that if you notice, I usually use silver. I usually do use silver more than any other of the metals. Have you ever guys thought about that as you were creating that your metal is warm or cool? And that's just a question that, as I sat and thought about this and, what we were going to talk about today, I'm like, dear Lord, Yeah, we don't think about the warm and the cool for the metal, but it really truly brings it in. And if you noticed, when I do red, I tend to always want to go with the gold more times than not. And it's just because that's a warm and warm together. I will put silver with it because I have more silver beads. But your natural tendency is to go. So yellows, orange, red, and browns, all I usually go towards more of gold colors with those. They're all warms. And then, you know, your the greens, the blues, certain shades of purple one will go orange, or one will go gold, and one goes more silver. And that's because purple is an odd duck that goes both ways. I know it sounds weird, but your lighter shades are cool. And it's because they have more of the blue in them. Because remember, red and blue make purple. And so that's where you get that in there. And I want you guys to think about, I know we keep talking about rooms rather than jewelry, but I wanted to share something with you that made me realize colors in rooms, but it never made me stop and think about colors with jewelry. When I worked for a business, copper is more of a warm color when you really look at copper because it's got the orange hues in it, which orange is warm. That's my opinion. If anybody disagrees, you sure can, and put it in the chat and we can talk about it. Thank you, Bitty Bop Boutique, for the follow. The company, not the one that I just left, but the company before that, the name of the company is Fiserv. They actually have what they call Fiserv Orange. It was, at the time when I was there, it was part of their logo. I got to go see if it's part of their logo still. I have not worked there in like 8 years, 9 years almost. Yes, it is. It is part of their company. And Fiserv Orange is, let me find it. It's not going to be on the color wheel because they branded the color. I know it sounds really weird, but it is not, it's somewhere in between this color and this color on the color wheel. It is a bright orange, like pumpkin orange, very bright, vibrant pumpkin orange. They decided in their buildings that there would be a focal wall with the Fiserv orange color. Okay. Our walls were white prior to this. Our cubicles were a gray color. And they paired the Fiserv orange with white and 2 shades of gray, one darker and one lighter. So they went in and painted all of the trim, the darker gray, all of the non-focal walls, the lighter gray. There was no white left in the building. And they painted a wall the vibrant orange. So the problem was the wall that had cubicles that they painted that vibrant orange didn't have the material on the back wall. So if I'm sitting in my cubicle, my computer's sitting here, you have your wall to the building here because we had like an L-shaped desk, okay? No material was in the panels right beside my computer. It was so harsh to work in that environment. We went to our manager and said, we can't work with this orange. It's in our cube. It isn't even like, we had 5-foot cubes. So it, sitting in your desk 5 foot up, it doesn't affect you, but it was right next to where you sat. It was just vibrant orange. It was very, very difficult. There was 4 of us that it affected in the entire building because they had 5 cubicles, only 4 were filled. They had a break, and then they had another 5, but nobody sat in those 5. I didn't go home with a headache, but another individual that was my friend, she did go home with a headache every day. She ended up bringing in a white sheet and hanging up the white sheet so that she wouldn't have headaches. But I ended up turning away and sitting in a different area so I wouldn't see that orange all the time. It took us 3 months to get them to paint the walls a different color or to give us our panel. The problem with the panel was they didn't make that color anymore. So like our outside cubicle panel walls would be one color, and even inside, because we had like a U-shape cubicle, and we had panels on 2 sides or 2 panels behind us. So if they put panels in that one that was over here, it would be a different shade. So they ended up going and painting our little area that was open white. So it was kind of funny in the end, but it took us 3 months to get that. And then we could actually work at our desks. I mean, we were like going and taking and going to different rooms. So color really does. Well, hello, Lucky Charm. I hope you're having a fabulous day. So color really does bring emotions into it. So my question, maybe we will do one bracelet, because we only have I've only gone for half an hour, and this is like what I wanted to talk about. But maybe if I do a silver one and put it in there, you can see the difference between cool. Hello, I saw you come in, and I was like, she didn't say anything, so I'm not going to say it, because I'm not one that usually goes, hey, I saw this person come in. How you been doing, Miss Jade? But I'm going to do a silver one. So I'm going to grab the beads that we were selling on our bring back day. I'm going to grab the silver 3mm, and we will make one of those. And then I can show you what the difference is. Gotta get the, which this isn't anything that's new that we're going to be doing. Woohoo! Yep, I totally get we all have to work. It was funny because I got a piece of hair. Jade, I lost a piece of hair only with you. Ryan this morning was like, what? Or last night, he was asking me what my day was going to be. Was it last night? Nope, it was this morning when we all got up. And I said, this, and this is what I want to do today. And he was like, well, you're going to be busy all day. And I go, it's called work. I'm like, dude, we all have to work. He has Fridays off, though, from the county. He went in and did a short route for the post office. So he was done by 10 o'clock. He took Buttercup to her summer program. Today is the last day of her summer program. Can't believe she's going to be home next week with us, everybody. And so we got to get her back on school schedule, because she's liking staying up like a rock star. So Jade, you know what I'm talking about. The sleep schedule. She's got to get back on it too. So she will be in and out of lives all next week because I have her with me the entire week. They don't have summer program the week before school starts. Did you end up making wristlets last night in the middle of the night then, Angela? You couldn't sleep. Did you end up working? Usually I get up and I start working on something, and then Ryan will wake up and he's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I couldn't sleep, so I have to work. I can't shut down." Because I sit there and if I toss and turn, I'm like, then I start thinking about things and then I don't go to school or go, wow. Then I don't end up going to sleep. I was up at about 5:30, but that's because Ryan's alarm was going off and I'm like, do I have to get Buttercup up now? And then I looked at the alarm and I'm like, why do you have your weekday alarm set for Friday? All right. Yep. And we don't have a live tonight, everybody. We are going out to supper for my father-in-law tonight, so no live tonight. While I'm making the silver bracelet, I will tell you guys about what we're going to have up for grabs tomorrow. I'm going to bring in 5 more different of those black enamel pendants. We're getting close to being done with those. And then dropped a bead. There we go, got it. All right, Miss Jade, we'll see you later. Are you leaving or are you just saying that about tonight? I'm like all of a sudden, did I interpret that wrong? I will also have good. We love it when you're here. I will also have coffin charm or coffin pendants. That will be our Halloween item for this week. We'll have those. I have 4 different colors of those. And then I have another, remember how we had that white butterfly acrylic bead? I have another color, but I can't think of what the color is. It might be yellow of that butterfly. I knew what she was going to say that with that. I love it. And then I'm trying to figure out, did I freeze for anybody else or did I just do it on mine because of the internet? Hold on. I'm going to try changing my internet. Excuse me. Okay. I don't know what happened there, but I lost you guys for a little bit. Nope, I didn't have a phone call. It was just really weird. Now I'm back. I tried asking you guys, is it being I was like, are you guys, it was really weird. It just like shut down for a little bit. Yep. I didn't lose it on my phone, but I lost it on my tablet, but it for some reason locked us here. And over on YouTube, it was going. I haven't lost it. So it was really weird. I think it was a TikTok glitch is what I'm going to say. Okay, now I was beading throughout. I need a few more beads, like 2 more beads, and then we'll call this good. Because I want to show you guys calm metals and warm metals. Whoop. Having a problem tying. Don't ask me why. Ah, thank you. Those are really easy to make. I have to have my husband help me finish them though. All right, here it is. Now do you see how that just calmed? Changing that out, do you guys see how much it changed it? I'm going to put the gold back in. Versus the silver. Thanks, Michelle. That's the difference between warm and cold, or warm and cool. I want to keep saying cold. I'm going to. Yep. It's a total noticeable difference. And it all is about warm and cold. My glue had glue on it, and now it's on my fingers. Yo! Yep. So when you think about that, if most people like silver, that's a calm color, what colors do you think they're going to pick for their jewelry? Doesn't mean we can't use all the colors. But that's what I wanted to show you. It's so noticeably different. You can mix the warm and the cool, but you will see a difference. Okay, what else do we have for tonight? I'm like gonna keep telling you about what we have for tonight. Yep, I am a silver girl. I mean, look at my band for my ring here. It's silver. My other wedding ring is gold. I have one of each. Nope, you are not weird, Jade. I was going to say Rainbow is a big, huge fan of rose gold too. So, and we didn't talk about rose gold. Rose gold is, and I'm going to say probably more warm. And so is Angela. See, there's people that like rose gold. Yep. I prefer rose gold over gold because it's not as harsh, because it's got the pink tone to it instead of all yellow. And I mean, when you really think about gold, gold is more yellow, and that's where it's coming into play. Trying to think. We will have, they don't like it. And it's really funny because people, there are certain colors of blue, which is a cool color that you guys will comment about will look good on me. But you guys talk about when I wear like this shirt. This is warm. Um, I did pull my hair back today, so it looks a little bit different with my hair back. If I have my hair like the bangs coming down type thing, um, that will be, it gives it more to having the warm vibe. Joya, she looks like a plump banana. um, um, so it really just, I wear both warm and cool clothes. Ryan's favorite color is Ford blue. You ask, we were playing a game about how well does Buttercup know us? And of all things, every question I asked that child, she knew between Ryan and I what the answer was. And it was, you don't tell him that. Oh yeah, it is a specific. I thought you said that was a Pacific blue. And I'm like, yeah, no, it's not Pacific blue. It's a specific. And it's just because he is a Ford guy through and through. There you go. And the thing is that if you really truly, like right through here on me, my sunglasses sit. I know this is going to sound weird. This is my natural color. I have a tan line right now going on really bad. So you guys can see my tan color and my natural color in my face right now because of sunglasses. And I know that is really weird, but it's the truth. This is my natural skin color more so. And I don't know why I have a streak here from my powder. I'm like, wow. See, and for me, I don't contour. This is my skin right now in the summer. And it's so funny. I'm like, right here, I have some contour just to blend everything a little bit. And right here is a little bit darker on my contour today. But this is like, this is summer. I mean, literally I have contour here and I have contour here right now. That's about it. But seriously, this is this is more natural of my skin tones. So when you look at that, to me, this would be more cool. But right now I have such a tan going on from being outside. And even though my husband says I burn, because yes, I do burn, I wear the warm colors. I have been watching more makeup girls on TikTok than I ever have. I've only started doing the contour since I've watched TikToks. And then when I was like, oh, that really does make a difference. And I don't do it every day. Trust me, I don't. But I am getting, it takes practice, Jade. Trust me. And you guys are so funny because I wear my eyeshadow the same way. I just change out the colors every day. And there will be days when you guys are like, I like that color. And all I did was change. There'll be like, you guys will literally say, I like your makeup. And all I did was change the color of the eyeshadow. Hi, beads, beads. Just a little thing called color. Hey. See, I wear actually more makeup now than I have ever worn in my entire life. And it has to do with, hi, sweetheart strings. I do have rosacea, and it is getting worse as I get older. I love it, Jade. I love that. Thank you for the heart me. Um, Buttercup is so funny because she'll be like, oh my, you need to change this. And the reason why I wear, and I mean, it literally comes down to I wear more makeup now than I ever did was because of the rosacea. And it's funny because it will cause flare-ups, but I did change um the cleansers that I use on my skin, and I will tell you, I am not endorsing, I'm not getting a commission, I'm not not so ever. But I did switch to the and it's on TikTok. It's a Korean one, Minsu or something like that. And I do that line. I know, she is funny. I love her too. I haven't seen her in a while. She hasn't come up on my For You, but she cracks me up. Um, but that has helped the rosacea, and I did look into it. In the Korean skincare lines that are out there have less evasive products than the American ones. And so it really truly has, I have noticed that I'm not as red all the time. That is so cool, Beads Beads. I love, that is a cool story. I love it. I think Buttercup, she watches tutorials on makeup all the time. And we do, even though she's 9 years old, we do let her wear a little bit of makeup. It's not a lot. It's like she can do the eyeliner, she can do her mascara, and she can put on something on her cheeks. She does a lot of contouring on her cheeks rather than blush. But she does that. And then she has to dress a certain way. If you guys, she is hilarious. You guys hear her talking on here, but her fashion sense is all about a certain style, and that's why she gets the stuff. See, I can't do anything on my lips. If you guys notice, I will never have lipstick on, and it comes from, I smell the lipsticks because it's right below your nose, and I can't handle it. It drives me nuts. So I do not wear anything on my lips. You will notice natural shade lips every day, all day. I don't lip line, nothing, because I smell it, and it just grosses me out. Okay. I'll have to look into it. But do they smell? Because everyone that I've ever tried of those Joya, they smell. I love how we went from talking about colors to makeup. I love it. And I still didn't finish what we're going to bring. I have, tonight, I also have another chip with no holes in it for those that, yep, makeup has colors, and that's how we got on it. But we will have one more chip that doesn't have any holes in it for those that do resin. We will have a chip bead. We have a couple natural beads. We will have acrylics. I'm going to bring in lots of glass tonight, just to let you know. We will have the calming colors in larger sizes. Holy buckets. That was a lost package. That's like 9 months. Oh, yes, not tonight, tomorrow. You are correct, Diane. Thank you for saying that. I'm so used to Friday nights. Yep. And when I will have like larger blue beads, green beads. I even have some whites in there too. How did it get lost for that many months? Holy buckets. Here we go. Someone's trying to FaceTime Buttercup on the other one. Holy buckets. Excuse me, I got yawns. Jade, that cracked me up. I'm sorry, I'm cracking up and now I'm going to cough. All right. I am going to get going. Those of you that have paid today, I had Ryan take the packages already to the post office this morning. So any paid orders I will have him take tomorrow when he does mail again. You might see me doing packaging them up this afternoon before we go to dinner, but just know that they'll go out in tomorrow's mail. Oh boy, not fun. I have to call the insurance company too. The fun joys of when you're just a little bit of tidbit, when you're downsized and you don't have your job anymore, you have to figure out health insurance. So we were going to go on Ryan's health insurance, but I had part of my severance package was they kept paying me paying my health insurance at an employee level for so many months. And then when that stopped, I needed to go on Ryan's insurance. And we are still trying to get on Ryan's insurance. I'm like, not fun. We have called federal government trying to get insurance done. Not good. I'm like, so that's one of the things that he and I get to do this. Oh, because, I'm not the employee, so they can't talk to me without talking to him. And it takes you an hour to get somebody. So yes, I get to do insurance too. Blech. So, all right, everybody. I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you guys can join me tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central on TikTok only. Sorry, YouTube. I don't do sales on YouTube. But go ahead and join me over there if you'd like. I miss you too, Miss Jade. All right, everybody. Bye. Have fun.